when Raila Amolo Odinga was emerging in politics, there were the likes of James Orengo, who are more senior members than Raila Amolo Odinga. But Raila emerged to be the kingpin of the Luo community. So this there is no difference between what Babu Owino is doing right now and what Raila did before. So Babu Owino, as the young people, because I am seeing majority of the elderly a bit within Nyanza are the ones who are opposing Babu Owino. Yeah. Because they still believe in that old politics of old politics which we want to remove. Or politics of this our party, we are Luos. That's the policies we want to remove. That we cannot work with these people because they betrayed us. Such things will not help us right now. The young people of this country, their politics not based on tribalism. They want inclusive, progressive leadership that can help this country. Yeah. So the retrogressive politics will not work going forward. So I want to advise Babu Owino, come out, form your party, we will join that party.
Yeah. Inakuja Tonga Nguvu, I go by the name of Ochino, the only Kenyan who is a man, a boy, and also our friend. And of course, when we say seated here, it's because we're having a conversation that you've requested for us to have. And of course, today's conversation is a bit different because we have a young guy on the show. He goes by the name of Benjamin Nyaware. Benjamin Nyaware is a Gen Z spokesperson, and he's a rising voice in the Kenyan political space, especially as a young person. And today we're here with him to just understand the perspective of him with the experience that he has and with the outlook and with the mentality that he has towards the Kenyan politics, of how the State of the Nation address by President William Ruto last week was to him. How did he interpret it? Is it something that, for his thinking and also just for his understanding, was it something that was towards met the expectations of he himself as a Gen Z spokesperson? And of course, obviously, the issue that has been happening with the Babu Owino has been under a very harsh scrutiny in terms of his future in ODM and also his future now towards his gubernatorial ambitions in Nairobi County. What does he think about it? And also just a summary of the by-elections that are currently underway and also will happen in the coming week. Benza.
Thank you very much.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
I know this sitting is a sitting that we have been discussing about it from time to time, and of course, finally today we got the opportunity and the chance at least to get to sit down and discuss a few things. And it's a conversation that is coming at the backdrop of the President's State of the Nation address in Parliament. He talked about many things, and a lot of people may say that the voice or the needs of the young people, especially the Gen Zs, maybe were not clearly captured or not a major address or the major keynote of that address. For you as Benjamin Nyaware, an overview of the State of the Nation address from President William Ruto last week.
First of all, Ochino, thank you very much for this opportunity to be on the show. To speak about the presidential address by the President, I would call it, in my own opinion, I would call it a story by the President. Because if you look at the President's manifesto, way back in 2022, the President was talking about a bottom-up economic model to be able to transform this country. First of all, the President's main manifesto was about Mama Mboga, Boda Boda, and improving the lives of people who are from the bottom, like the common mwananchi. If you look at the President's address, it seems as though the political class is very much desperate to salvage this uprising of the young people, especially the Gen Z throughout last year in 2024, throughout the protests of the finance bill, bringing about divergent opinion and a new political phase for this country. And then if you look at that address, the President was basically launching another manifesto, whereas he has not completed the manifesto. He has not completed the manifesto that he had brought out to Kenyans in 2022. And now again, the President is bringing about another manifesto of talking about transforming this country to become like Singapore. First of all, if you look at the engagement within the corridors of Parliament, you look at the way the members of Parliament behaved while the President was giving out this address. It shows that the political class can be compromised. And if you look at the members of Parliament who have been singing one term and those who have been singing two term as well, they were speaking from the same voice. That shows that the members of parliament have no integrity for the people of this country. The main cause of our problem is that Kenyans, we have thrived for a very long time within the political system. And the political system is what has brought this country to its knees. And as the young people, as people who are visionary and have a future, we are considering to chart our different divergent opinion from the political class, from these politicians who have been there ever since through the KANU regime, those who have been saying that KANU will rule Kenya for 100 years. There is a new uprising of young people who now want to base their politics on issues and not political individuals.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also just the president calls the people who don't agree with him politically or with his manifesto that he has, he calls them naysayers.
Yes.
And for that, it means that there are people who believe that the president, William Ruto, should move in a certain direction so as to maybe to also serve their interests.
Yes.
But especially for Gen Z, is it an issue of a lack of experience in that for them, their current needs, they need the government to at least sort their current needs for us Gen Zs, but maybe for the president himself, with the political experience that he has and the data, the knowledge that he also has, for him it is a different way. For example, he's saying that the Singapore way for us to at least develop to a first world country is what is needed for Kenya currently. But for the Gen Zs, they were calling for accountability, they were calling for transparency, and for the leaders, they're calling for integrity.
Yes.
Are you, for you as a Gen Z, are you saying that the Gen Zs are misplaced in their priorities in terms of they're not thinking for the long term, whether the president is thinking long term, or do you think the Gen Zs also have a say and they must also be heard in whatever they believe in, calling for accountability?
What I would say, the young people of this country are looking beyond 2027. And the politics of the young people right now, for a very long time, the young people of this country have never been engaged in active politics. In fact, the young people of this country have never been interested in the political stories that we are always given every day. So, these young people are people who have experienced what has happened in the political space for a very long time. These are people who they have been watching their parents following up politics, reading newspapers and such things. But the young people of this country have discovered that our parents and our grandparents have been misused by the politicians to drive their own agenda. If you look at the current politics of the day, every single day we are discussing individuals. We're not discussing issues that can transform this country. And that is the problem that we have in this country. Because if you look at the opposition and the government side, there is no difference, because these are the same people who have been in government. If you look at the impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, he was also in this. He was part and parcel of bringing about this government together in 2022. So he cannot be now it cannot be that Rigathi Gachagua right now is a saint, because he's thriving on the young people's uprising. Because right now, how can it be that now the politicians are now focused on the young people? They are now speaking about Gen Zs. In 2022, people were talking about Mama Boga and Boda Boda, because that was a narrative that would create votes for them. Yeah. But now every politician wants to align themselves with the young people of this country, because they have understood that the young people have risen from the culture of retrogressive politics to now issue-based politics. Yes.
And also, just for you as a Gen Z, and as of course you call yourself, or as they call you, the Gen Z spokesperson,
yes,
especially in the online space.
Yes.
When you look at the first genuine Gen Z uprising, well, yes, the finance bill uprising,
yes,
up to now where we are today, has the president himself and the government, current government of the day, and the leaders, parliamentarians, all the way up to the presidency, are you think that they're now aware of what the Gen Zs genuinely wanted? And do you believe that they have put some of the things that the Gen Z wanted into practice? And how can that also just influence the kind of leaders that will be chosen, re-elected, or also just first time elected from the presidency all the way down to the MCA position?
These people are very much aware of what the young people of this country want, and they cannot allow it to happen. Because number one, they have gotten into the minds of the young people and brought narratives that have always been sold to our parents and our grandparents. these people right now, they have taken over the minds of the young people. And the young people right now are focused on thriving through politics based on political parties. That is why you see the young people right now, some of them are joining these parties like ODM, Jubilee, Safina, and all these other parties, because they have understood to contain the young people and remove the narrative of a better Kenya. They want now to involve them in the political system, which this political system for a very long time has been used as a tool to control and contain the people of this country, and bring about politics of tribalism, bring about politics of discussing individuals. That now, if a politician today has, like yesterday, we saw the former deputy president, the impeached deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, when he was at Narok. Now everybody is sympathizing with Rigathi Gachagua on what happened, but yet they are forgetting. In 2024, the same Rigathi Gachagua was the man who was now telling the young people of this country, I dare you to go out there and protest. So there is a problem that we have in this country, a very big problem. And the problem does not lie with the President William Samoei Ruto, certainly. It also lies with the parliamentary system, because these people are the people that create and pass laws within the corridors of parliament. But now they are being used by the executive, of which is overseen by the president, to push their own agendas. And yet they are putting blame on the president. And yet they're the ones who make these laws. So where does the problem lie? Is it the presidency, or is it the members of parliament? They're part and parcel of this problem that we have in this country. Yes.
And also by now it's very alive. Yes. to the Gen Zs, and it's a reality to the Gen Zs that for them to bring actual change that can be felt within the government or within just the country, they must be aligned with political parties, or they must be part of a political outfit, a official political movement which has structures.
Yes.
But if now the Gen Zs are now saying that when they join these parties that have been there before, it's like they're being swallowed by the party structures. And then they lack, also on the other side, they lack that strong party, that one strong party, that a Gen Z party that now speaks for the Gen Zs. There is not that party that has come out strongly to at least have a majority of the Gen Zs nationwide. Then don't you believe that the cry of the Gen Zs risks to be swept away by the wave when it comes down to the real general elections movement in 2027? And how can the Gen Zs now just realign to also have their say on that table in 2027?
Ochino, the young people of this country, first of all, there is what we call leadership, and there is what we call political mileage. Leadership, let me start with political mileage. Political mileage is whereby you rise as a politician to thrive to get that leadership. But now once you become a leader, and you've become an MP, you've become a senator, you've become a governor, you're in that position to help the people that you govern. So the young people are right now confused, because they don't know whether should we join these parties for us to get this for us to get these seats so that we can change this country, or should we just be mere spectators and push for change through the leadership that we already have? What I would tell the young people of this country, we need to come up with our own structures as the young people. Whether we can form a movement, we can start by a movement, and then thereafter we establish our own political party, a party that thrives for agenda, not a party that is affiliated to political cocoons, people who want to control the politics that goes on within the political parties. And that is the politics we want to change. So I would advise the young people, if we can come up with our own parties, and let us not fight as the young people. Another factor that is causing mayhem within the unity of Gen Zs is that we are fighting among ourselves. If you look at our brother Kasmuel Makore, he came up well and spoke out boldly about what is the problem in this country. But now the young people, they now fought Kasmuel Makore. There was also propaganda instigated by the political class so that they can bring him on board and control him through the political system. Morada Kebaso as well started well in giving out information about projects that were not completed, but now he was still bought by the political system. The young people also were used. The same young people who are supposed to be united are now being used to fight their own fellow young upcoming leaders.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also just adding on that point of young leaders being fought with by fellow young leaders, or just also the system just fighting young leaders, we have the issue of now Babu Owino.
Yes.
Babu Owino is seen as the face of youth leadership in the country, because we have seen him rise through the ranks of student leadership at his time as a sole president in the University of Nairobi,
Yes.
rising and just within the ODM Youth League, rising to be the MP of Embakasi East, rising again for a re-election Embakasi East MP, and now he has boldly come out to say that he has political ambitions to be the next governor of Nairobi, succeeding Governor Johnson Sakaja in 2027. But since the realignment within ODM, even before the realignment of Baba's passing on in ODM, he was still fought by the perennial or the senior leaders within ODM, fought also by the people who are in government, because they are feeling as if he's so abrasive. His kind of politics is very abrasive. Now namwambia angojongoje kwanza so that time yake itafika. But for a lot of people are saying that Babu has the right education, Babu has the right mindset, he has the right energy. From his politics also, is one of the top performing MPs. And they're saying that he's a person who can even be president in 2027. For you as a Gen Z, and for you as a person who also has a keen following in the Kenyan politics, is Babu Owino being fought because he represents a different ideology from the current political elites who have been ruling with a certain political mindset? And are you seeing his ambitions as Nairobi governor being truthful and being successful in 2027? You know,
Babu Owino, first of all, the proponents who are telling Babu Owino that he is too young, he needs to calm down and listen to the elderly. All these people within ODM have been fathered by the late Raila Amolo Odinga. Babu Owino was fathered by Raila Odinga, and the rest of these people have been holding on to the hands of Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yeah.
So there is nothing as such for them to tell us that Babu Owino is not fit, is not deemed fit to become the governor, is not deemed fit to become the kingpin of Luo Nyanza.
Yeah.
And Babu Owino, if you look at the Babu Owino's politics, Babu Owino has studied the young people. Babu Owino is now realigning himself with the future. Because if you look at the politics that is coming up beyond 2027, and even before 2027, it is now politics it's a new dimensional politics based on issue-based. It's not based on individuals. For a very long time, we have been thriving on individuals. Every day on news, you are seeing people discussing individuals. And that's the politics we want to change.
Yeah.
So Babu Owino, first of all, I would like to tell my brother Babu Owino, because I'm a big supporter of Babu Owino. In Nairobi, I would not advise Babu Owino to run for governor.
When? In this 2027 elections?
I will not advise Babu Owino to run for governor. Reason being, Babu Owino is a man. First of all, I'm from Luo Nyanza, and Babu Owino, we are seeing, even as though we are Gen Zs, there's a political there's where we come from.
Yeah.
So Babu Owino, I am seeing as though Babu Owino is being used for him to become governor in Nairobi, so that they can end his political career. Because Babu Owino is the only, in my own point of view, Babu Owino is the only prominent and a man who we see as Raila Amolo Odinga in future as the people of Luo Nyanza. We are seeing Babu Owino is the only leader who can be able to liberate and unite the people of Nyanza. So there is a game that is being played here in Nairobi where they want Babu Owino to run for governor so that they can finish him politically. Yes. So
for you then, is it now a belief that you have that Babu Owino should at least try to retain his seat for a third term in Embakasi East, or maybe should he just go to his home county from Nyanza, that is Migori, and at least vie from that side?
Most of the people who are encouraging Babu Owino to run for governor in Nairobi, majority of them have not registered as voters. Number two, majority of these people, sincerely speaking, do not mean well for Babu Owino. Because allow me to just say this and let it be on record. The majority of the people who are expecting Babu Owino to run for governor are not even from his own community. I don't want to mention a certain tribe, but the majority of the people, politics is a matter of numbers.
Yeah.
And Luos, we are not even top 3 of the population in Nairobi. We have the Luyas, we have the Kikuyu factor, we have the Kambas, who are the majority in Nairobi County. So majority of these people who are pushing for Babu, themselves, they have their own candidates. We have Agnes Kagure, we have also another candidate from Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
So the proponents of Babu Owino becoming governor, if he wins governor or if he does not win governor, will mess his political career. So we are looking at Babu beyond just becoming governor. We want Babu Owino to become the president of the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, just maybe finalizing on that issue of Babu Owino. Now, whether he goes for the Nairobi gubernatorial seat in 2027 or he tries to retain his seat now in Embakasi, for him now in his party politics, that is within ODM, he is also seen to be fought, or he seems to disagree with the senior leadership that is there. And we saw that very clearly during the ODM at celebrations, where when he was given the chance to speak by the SG Sifuna, he said that wadosi ndani ya chama wanampiga sana, hawampei hiyo nafasi. What do you now advise, or what do you now see his probabilities for him to remain politically relevant? Should he exit ODM? And if he should exit, should he do that before the 2027 elections? And if he exits, should he create his own political party, or should he join one of the existing political parties in the country?
Babu Owino should leave ODM with immediate effect. ODM was Raila Amolo Odinga and Raila was ODM. The fact that people don't want to agree that ODM ended on October 15th, the day Raila Amolo Odinga was pronounced dead. And that is very much unfortunate, because these leaders within ODM, the deputy party leaders, the party leader, and the chair lady of ODM, Governor Gladys Wanga, these people were thriving on Raila's court. Yani, when Raila was there, it was like without Raila, they cannot be able to do anything. And it is very vivid. You can literally see what is going on.
Yeah.
Because most of these people, if Raila did not pronounce them as candidates or lift their hands, these people would not be the lucrative positions that they have right now. So ODM right now, especially in Luo Nyanza, people are voting for you because Baba amesema. And now Baba is not there. So we want leaders who have an agenda, leaders who have an ambition, leaders who are ready to transform their counties, their sub-counties, their wards. If you are running within ODM, you must have an agenda. Do not come to us with that narrative that you are from ODM, that you will get a seat. So I would advise Babu Owino, immediately, Raila Amolo Odinga started the same way Babu Owino is starting. When Raila Amolo Odinga was emerging in politics, there were the likes of James Orengo, who are more senior members than Raila Amolo Odinga. But Raila emerged to be the kingpin of the Luo community. So there is no difference between what Babu Owino is doing right now and what Raila did before. So Babu Owino, as the young people, because I am seeing majority of the elderly a bit within Nyanza are the ones who are opposing Babu Owino.
Yeah.
Because they still believe in that old politics of old politics which you want to remove. Or politics of this our party, we are Luos. That is the policies we want to remove. That we cannot work with these people because they betrayed us. Such things will not help us right now. The young people of this country, their politics is not based on tribalism. They want inclusive, progressive leadership that can help this country.
Yeah.
So the retrogressive politics will not work going forward. So I want to advise Babu Owino, come out, form your party, we will join that party.
Yeah.
ODM right now, sorry to say, but ODM right now is few meters from having an accident. Yes.
And now finally, finishing this interview, today's interview, let's now finish it on the angle of the by-elections that are going to happen at the end of this week. With the by-elections now coming, we have seen the young leaders come out very strongly and offer themselves in these few seats that were vacant. Especially when you look at a person in the likeness of Babu Owino. Babu Owino, he's in age, he's considered as a young person in Kenya, and also the MCA positions, maybe say a place like Buchai, they are fairly young people. When you look at that across the board in the seats that they're going to vie, is it a representation of the type of outcome in terms of the young leaders who are first timers, who are offering themselves in various positions? Are we not going to see maybe the largest number of leaders who are going to just offer themselves as candidates from MCA positions, so they maybe even to the presidency in Kenyan's history? Or by that time, the young people will have already exhausted their might, politically speaking, when you're going to 2027 elections?
First of all, on Babu Owino, the Kasipul candidate for ODM, Babu Owino is a young person, he's a Gen Z. But the problem is, who is pushing this Gen Z to run for MP? These people want to force Babu Owino on the people of Kasipul. We are not only looking on the young people to run for political seats, but we are looking for people who have integrity. So it is not a matter of the young people, it's not a must the young people run for these seats, but we are looking at people who also have integrity. So the politics that is being played in Kasipul is politics that is not going to help the people of Kasipul. If you look at the politics that is being done in Kasipul, there is no difference from what his father, the late Ongondo Were was doing in Kasipul. So I am urging the people of Kasipul to vote based on ideology, based on vision, but not based on a party which has messed the area of Kasipul. Because if you look at what the late member of parliament was doing in Kasipul, was terrible. People have lost their lives. Many people have been injured because of the same member of parliament. And now again, you want to bring his son on board to continue the same system, to benefit because of few individuals like Governor Gladys Wanga wants to control Kasipul constituency. We had statements of the governor making that if ODM will not win that particular seat, that there will be no development taken to Kasipul. That is very much unfortunate that a governor can be making such retrogressive statements to the people of Kasipul. That is a threat. Yes.
So then, does it now say that the young voters or the young leaders, the young uprising leaders,
yes,
may find themselves in a very tricky situation in that even though they might want to present themselves for these positions, MCA, a governor, a senator, MP, then the reality will still be that it is still Otonyokona pesa, and they'll be considered first for those tickets in various parties across the divide.
This story of pesa in 2027, that will not be a big factor because people are looking at leadership. We're not looking for politicians, we're looking for leaders. The main cause of the young people is to have narratives that will convince not only the young people, the elderly, the women, the elderly men. We want leadership. So this issue of money it will not be a big factor in 2027 because if you look at the politics is changing.
Yeah.
And the political class has realized early enough, because these people are not foolish. These people are very smart, because they want to bring the young people together to drive their agenda. That is what I said before earlier in my statement. So we want the young people to thrive on agenda, not on political alignments based on political parties and such things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just your last comments now, your closing remarks, in terms of now the by-elections that we're going to have, and also just moving forward, the role of the Gen Zs, especially, that they're going to play in terms of now the political space to the country as we are going towards 2027 on this camera. Your last remarks.
First of all, my last remarks to the young people of this country, as the Gen Z spokesperson, I would like to advise the young people of this country, first of all, to come out and register in mass numbers as voters. In 2027, we want to change the politics of this country. We no longer want to be controlled and driven by politicians who have for a very long time been in the political scene and have done nothing for this country. I want to say to the political class, through the government that is currently there, the KK government, as well as the united opposition, you cannot be the solution. Both of you cannot be the solution, because you people have been in government for the longest time possible. It cannot be that right now you want to thrive on the young people's agenda. We want to transform this country from based on political narratives now to political now to issue-based politics. So we are telling the young people of this country to come out in mass numbers and register as voters. As a Gen Z spokesperson, we are going to ensure that we reach as many youths across the country to ensure that we change this country. Thank you very much.
So Benjamin, shukran sana for heeding our call and at least showing up for us to have this conversation, and at least also moving forward when we call you again now, at least to have to give the representation of the current voice and the real standing of the Gen Zs.
Yes.
Make time, at least so that you can come, so that even as you're going towards 2027, the Gen Zs can also just have a voice towards the political development by that time of the country. And maybe if you're watching from home and you haven't agreed with a thing or two that Benjamin said, on a topic or two that you have discussed on this platform and this interview, up chini kwa comment section, give us your opinion, so that even when Benjamin goes and sits down and watches this interview again, he'll see your comment and maybe change a thing or two on the way he views the politics of the country towards 2027 elections. I've been your host, Ochino, the only Kenyan who is a man, a boy, and also a friend. Till next time, keep it locked.
Thank you.